Egyptian air and naval forces have found a body part, seats and one or more items of luggage from the Egypt Air flight MS-804, which are carrying 66 passengers and crew from Paris to Cairo on Thursday morning. Egyptian Army spokesman Brigadier General Mohammed Samir said in a statement posted on his Facebook page that the debris was found around 290 kilometers north of the port city of Alexandria. Egyptian jets and naval vessels are continuing to search for further debris, including the plane's black box recorders. Search teams from Greece, France, Italy, the United Kingdom and Cyprus are aiding Egypt to scour the Mediterranean plane's remains. The presidency has expressed its deep and sadness and extreme regret over the deaths of the 66 passengers and crew members aboard the Egypt Air MS-804 flight. According to its statement, the presidency also conveyed its condolences to the families of the deceased. The statement went on to express its gratitude to those countries that have offered to help find the plane's wreckage and promised continuous investigations to uncover the reasons that led to the tragedy. For its part, the Egyptian cabinet has expressed its deep sorrow and regret over the MS-804 plane tragedy as it offered its condolences to the families of the victims. The cabinet pledged to exert its utmost efforts to offer support to the families of the deceased and to provide them with all the required information. Speaker of the House of Representatives, Dr. Ali Abdul Al, expressed his deep sadness and sorrow over the deaths of the 36 passengers and crew members who were aboard the Egypt Air MS-804 flight. Parliament offered its condolences after the Army announced that it had located the plane's debris and passengers' personal belongings some 295 kilometers north of the city of Alexandria in the Mediterranean Sea. Earlier, Al-Azhar, Islam's leading institution, extended its condolences and prayed for the lives lost in the plane crash. Al-Azhar prayed that God grant His mercy on the victims and host them in His heavens. Al-Azhar also expressed its condolences to the leaders and peoples of all other nationals who were on board the tragic flight, describing the incident as a great tragedy. Egypt Air also offered its condolences over the death of the 66 passengers and crew of the Airbus A320 plane, adding that the company is taking all the required procedures and is following up on developments. Separately, special prayers were performed in a number of mosques across Cairo for the victims. Bahrain's King Hamad bin Isa Al Khalifa sent a condolences to President Abdel Fattah al-Sisi. King Hamad expressed his country's solidarity with Egypt and highlighted the deep bilateral ties. In the same context, U.S. Secretary of State John Kerry told Foreign Minister Sameh Shoukry that the United States would continue to pledge support for the investigation and search of the Egypt airplane that went missing over the Mediterranean. Kerry offered Shoukry his condolences for the lives lost in the plane crash and promised to stay in close contact as the investigation progresses. The presidency said it is closely monitoring the search operations for the Egypt Air Flight 804, which disappeared from radar Thursday morning while carrying 66 passengers and crew members from Paris to Cairo. President Abdel Fattah al-Sisi has ordered the Civil Aviation Ministry, the Army Search and Rescue Center, and the Air Force measures to locate the aircraft's debris. The President also gave his directives to the Ministry of Civil Aviation's Investigative Committee to speed up investigations into the flight's disappearance. President Abdel Fattah al-Sisi and Greek Prime Minister Alexis Tsipras discussed over the telephone the latest developments surrounding the missing Egypt Air MS-804 flight as he hailed Greece's coordination with Egypt on the The Greek Prime Minister stressed his country's keenness on offering Egypt all the needed means of support and cooperation to discover the circumstances behind the tragedy. In another telephone call, Saudi Arabia's King Salman bin Abdulaziz Al Saud expressed his deep sorrow over the tragedy to President al-Sisi. The President also received a phone call from U.S. Secretary of State John Kerry. He also expressed his condolences. Kerry also said that the United States is ready to provide assistance in the search efforts. French Foreign Minister Jean-Marc Ayrault hailed the joint cooperation between Egypt and France to uncover the causes behind the MS-804 flight crash, which disappeared around 290 km off Egypt's coast. The French embassy said earlier today that investigators from France's Air Accident Authority and Airbus have arrived in Egypt to help probe the mysterious crash. The French Foreign Minister said there was absolutely no indication as to why the flight came down, adding that they are looking at all possibilities, but none are being favoured over the others. Ayrault added that all the required security measures were taken at the Charles de Gaulle airport, adding that the French government had security measures at all its airports after the attacks which took place last January and November. The Airbus A320 flying from Paris to Cairo is believed to have swerved suddenly before plunging and disappearing from radar screens early Thursday, with all 66 people on board dying. And on Thursday, President Abdel Fattah el-Sisi presided over a meeting with Egypt's National Security Council to discuss the latest regarding the MS-804's disappearance. The council decided to intensify its search for the plane's debris and urged the government to provide its utmost efforts to help the families of the victims. The council also urged Egypt Air's crisis to follow up on the developments and to announce updated information. General Prosecutor Councillor Nabil Sadeh ordered an urgent investigation into the crash. The prosecutor urged the higher state security prosecution to open an expanded investigation in a bid to uncover the causes behind the tragedy. And within the framework of the ongoing follow-up on the plane crash, Chairman of the Egypt Air Holding Company, Safwat Musallam, leading a team of the officials and pilots, met today with the families of the deceased to brief them on the latest information surrounding the incident and to offer them the needed aid and support. Meanwhile, Egypt Air's Crisis Center said it is following up on the outcome of the search operations and is contacting all the concerned bodies. The Vice President of Egypt Air Insurance Company, Mohammed Khalifa, said that representatives from the XL Caitlin Company will arrive later today to follow up on the developments regarding the Egypt Air plane crash. The company will work on preparing the insurance compensation. Khalifa said that the plane's insurance value stands at $18 million, adding that the insurance compensation for the passengers are within the responsibilities of the company to a third party in accordance with international agreements.